because I felt the temperature for a while. There's a lot of people that have been walking by with this,
Right.
"Are you recording me?" energy.
Oh
And it's like,
my
I'm not
God.
recording you.
Right,
You're not
the
that
phone
important.
facing that way.
And if they look, they can see it.
Right.
But a lot of people were so nervous. Right now, the number one fear in America is public speaking.
I'm not gonna lie. That's why when he told me to come over here, I'm like, what I'm supposed to say? I really hate public speaking. Like,
I laugh because we do it all the time.
Yeah.
We're speaking through text. We're speaking through captions. Hi. It's hidden. Is that thing like?
See, I don't know. I've been getting better with my speaking though. I used to not talk at all, but now I'm like getting better with it. So,
are you building anything you're passionate about?
Right now, what I've really been into is modeling. So right now I have on like 3 brands. So I like to support Black-owned everybody. I try to get modeling out there with clothing lines and stuff like that. That's what I want to hit towards. That's what I want to build towards. So
I love it because I used to have a problem speaking.
Right.
But my problem came from living double lives. Right? I was a teacher and I wanted to be a rapper. I was my mama's son who was supposed to be a leader.
Right.
And I'm with the homies doing stuff that look like I'm following, but I was leading too.
Right.
So it was these names where it was like everything didn't feel in sync. And I was a teacher.
Okay.
So I told my students a lot about integrity. Like if I show myself as one way in here and show myself as another way outside,
right,
I'm struggling with that internally and y'all are going to feel that in some way. So as much as you can, allow yourself to match up in all worlds. Everybody's had the same story about Meera.
Yes.
Everybody's had the same story about a guy from a place.
Just a couple weeks ago, I was working at Amazon. I was a manager. My life at Amazon and my life outside of Amazon was completely different.
Yeah.
Like, so when people started finding my Instagram, because I would never let anybody have my Instagram at Amazon because they be.
Yeah, they get a little strange.
And they see me, they like, this year? I'm like, what you talking about? Like, like I did not want anybody to know the lifestyle, and then people just started saying my Instagram, and it was like at that point, it's okay. They're like, oh, you don't act like that at work. I'm not supposed to. Like, I'm not gonna act how I act outside at work. It's just not. It's not professional.
It's not. What I realized was I can hold a certain frame in different spaces, but nothing has to be hidden. So I say that to say, people are going to take advantage of the choices we make.
Right.
But it says more about their character than yours. So the judgment somebody assigns to me for the life I've chosen to live speak to their reality.
Right.
I have family members who make all types of decisions. They're still my family members. So I have to give grace above all else. I struggle with it. So the 6 family members is looking at me like, boy, you know, because it's like, it isn't a perfect thing, but becoming aware of where I'm being too judgmental, becoming aware of where I'm not as comfortable as I could be, have been to my benefit. And I get that to anybody watching, like, find a way to show up as authentic as you can and watch how people react to your authenticity.
Yeah.
If people are only attracted to you for the face you're putting on, it says a lot about the people around you.
Right. And it's crazy because at one point when I was younger, I used to block my parents from watching my stories.
I was there.
My family and stuff like that. And now I'm like, girl, Ma, you can watch my story all you want, girl, because you already know what I do, you know? So it's like now I'm getting more comfortable as I get older. So I'm just like, if you judge me how you judge me, that's how you judge me. I could care less.
Absolutely.
So
I was afraid to tell people I was a teacher because sometimes I said things on social media that I felt don't reflect the teacher.
Right.
But that again was a judgment. I was judging myself. So I call judgments limiters. Like every judgment I put up was a limiter for somebody else's reality and then for my own. It's like, how can I do that if because I can.
You still can, regardless of what you do, still be yourself. It doesn't matter what you could be a Amazon CEO, you could be somebody all high up like that, or you could be somebody that's just a rapper or trying to be a rapper. Everybody should be looked at the same or portrayed the same, no matter what you do or no matter what you do on social media or in your real life. So,
and stay consistent. Stay consistent with the visions you have for yourself. You said model. The vision may shift and you may add things into the process, but consistent in the love for it is I didn't become the rapper I thought I would be right away. I went into a school and I taught kids about all the ways they could show up.
Right.
And that gave me a lot of like self-esteem. It gave me a lot of love for myself and others. Like I'm teaching kids math problems that I used to struggle with.
Right.
I'm teaching them about books I love coming
Right.
up. I got to do poetry classes with them. Like we were writing little joints for Halloween and all of that. So it was all of these opportunities in serving that allowed me to recognize how I can serve myself too.
Okay.
So it's such a blessing, like I said, and I'm just sure like
it's a lot of opportunity growing up in Baltimore too. But you just gotta, in some senses, know the right people, and in some senses, just be yourself too. So, you know,
it's funny because it's like judgment is a tool for survival. You see a lion walking down the middle of this joint, like I'm gonna judge that situation.
I'm be like, all right. You know, get away from that real quick.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes we overuse that tool.
Right.
I could also get a lion walking to me grace. Maybe the lion's trained. Maybe the lion's not worried about nothing I'm doing right here, and he already got a mission.
Right.
There's a gazelle down the block. He already chasing after.
Right.
Right. So it's like when I recognized that part of life, I was like, oh, grace is the opposite. Yeah. Forgiveness for the wrongs others do allows me to give them understanding for where they come from.
Right.
Maybe they just don't support these brands because they don't know how to support them. And it's like, someone gave me that while I was teaching. They said, whenever your students are messing up, recognize you didn't teach them everything you're supposed to teach. I was like, oh, so my class gets out of hand is because they haven't been taught all the ways to conduct themselves in this space. And what they've learned by their behavior is that I'm going to wild out and I'm going to throw something at them. And they're willing to take that consequence to do what they want in that moment. So it was like this constant recognition and analysis. Like, it's so simple, we make it complex. Yeah. And people want long out. I want drawn out answers at times, and I don't even need them. It's like, yo, just be you.
I also learned that even when something bad happens, don't always point out the bad things. Always give them recognition too. Because you don't want them to think like, oh, you never tell me, oh, good job at this or good job at that. You only say stuff to me when it's negative. So I learned that a lot too. Like being a young manager and having a lot of people older than me, I had to learn that a lot. Like I literally had to learn that a lot. Like don't ever just give people negative feedback. It's best to give both.
They will always remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely.
You cannot make people forget that.
Ever.
So how old are you?
24.
Awesome.
I look 12.
I'm 27.
Yep, I'm 24.
Yeah, so we are. Yes. So it's that's so awesome out here.
It is.
Like I love it. And it's funny because I said to somebody recently, like, I got laughed at for being too positive. And how is that possible? Like, why make room for negativity?
And I
don't have to.
Cause me personally, like if I'm just walking, I look so mean. Like I look really, really mean. People like smile, and it's like I don't have an attitude. Like it's just my face. Like some people like, oh, smile when you're too happy. Like why you all happy like that? That's the type of energy you don't want around you. If somebody's saying something about your positive energy, they do not need your energy around them at all.
That's a fact. And I recognize it. Like I've been uncomfortable around people that were happy, but then I check myself. Like, why are you upset at Disney World, bro? Like, why are you upset right here, bro?
Right.
This literally, like, I used to
the happiest place in the world.
I get on my soapbox like, yo, we at a concert and y'all not dancing. I don't care if you offbeat. Like, just do something.
Like, I can't dance, and I still be over there like.
And you'll learn something.
Exactly.
You gotta look wild to get form. Because wild is still movement. Right. Wild and misunderstood and chaotic becomes structured over time, because eventually you're like, oh, I can't. No, you come down here. Right. Or you come up here. Oh, you just wiggling too much. I need to tighten up.
That's my song right there. Coco Jones.
I see you.
Yes.
Shit's on his fire.
At the end of the night in the club, I always need this to come on.
On the mouth, your hand on my.
This to set the mood, leaving out the club to go home.
I love that. I need girls to be saying that more. Like y'all love the R&B, because the fellas, we love the R&B.
I like the rap, but look, I like the R&B. I like to sing. I like to be in my feelings even when I'm not in my feelings.
You hear that?
You know?
You like the R&Bs, the rhythms and the blues.
Yes.
What's your favorite R&B artist?
That's hard because I like everybody. I guess you could just say Jhené Aiko. Jhené Aiko. I always say her name wrong, but I guess you could say her. But like I like everybody because I like different songs by different people. So, but I guess you could say Jhené Aiko.
I'm trying to think of my favorite
Summer
one.
Walker.
I love Body.
Okay.
I love the way the beat drop. My body.
Yeah.
Summer, go ahead.
But this right here, I see you as a different type of.
Yeah.
She
it's
do
the
something
build
to
up.
my body. I don't know. This song do something to me.
It's flowing. I make music.
Okay.
So like I'm always interested in like patterns. Like this got a.
It's just like, and then you can play this in the club.
Yeah. This is a slow dance vibe.
Yeah. So
we ain't been slow dancing in a while. And that's another thing. You gotta get back to dancing with each other.
Ooh.
You just be looking at each other. And I know it's scary. I'm gonna have to go find a dancing partner to show y'all.
It gotta be somebody I know.
I get it, but it's like we used to have that energy.
Yeah.
In a way where it was like, we dance together, let's get to know each other.
Right.
And you get to know more about that person than you would have known if we just hide behind these socials. Like, people would assume I'm not going to be able to talk to this person because they got this many followers. And it's like, it's not even real. Like, I don't know your followers when I see you out. You don't know my followers. We just know we two people in the space with brands that we represent.
It's definitely... I know you over that feeling that you see.
I'm listening, tuning in.
But I don't know, like when I'm outside, I just like to have fun. I don't have to dance. I have my friends with me most of the time, so we be all over there dancing with each other. But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
but
I think I think it's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of trauma caused by people handling situations inappropriately. But I just love to remind people and myself too, like. The moments that were handled inappropriately were just that moment.
Yep.
And we cannot let one bad apple spoil the bunch. I didn't see dudes say all black women are hard to deal with.
Right.
Like, bro, you got a black mother and grandmother, and you're gonna have a black daughter and hopefully granddaughter one day.
Exactly.
No matter what woman you sleep with on this planet.
Or that stereotype about light skins.
That stereotype about light skins. Not gonna lie, I used to catch some heck because I wanted new when ATL came out. I was like, I just wanna, but they was all aggressive though. Yeah. And I should have just read the energy.
Right.
It was too much pride. Like there was light skin pride at that time. Like I look like Nunu. I don't need to date you. You ugly. Like,
I don't act like that because me personally, I don't even like light skins myself. I don't. I swear.
Look, I look at the camera like
I don't like light skins because I'm so light. So
it's real.
Yeah, I really I don't.
I think it's sad that we let so many superficial things be the reasons that we connect with people.
Right.
Like, oh, all dark skinned dudes want to date light skinned shorties. It's like these are stereotypes that have some truth based on that one in those moments. But it's like I've dated girls of all types of complexions.
Oh, yep.
Like, it's just, what did we connect over? What did we talk about? What are your values? Is what I ask a lot now.
It's more so about the vibe. I wouldn't just base something strictly off of a skin complexion because you never really know like who a person is. You don't want to base them off the skin complexion until you actually have a conversation with them. Somebody know how to keep a conversation or you know, stuff like that. Like, but just basing somebody strictly off of a skin complexion, I don't think people should do that. But you know, it's life. It's the life we live.
It's hilarious. It's like we didn't gotten past like, what's your favorite song?
Right.
Like now I know it's Coco Jones. I See You.
Right.
Right. You give you that vibe. Right. I'm like, why are we talking about how much we make at the gate? Like, people are planning a wedding on the first date. And it's like, when you coming in with that much intention, of course you're going to run into trouble. Right. You're just going to run into problems.
I mean, some people work out like that.
Some people.
But some people don't. Some people work out like that. Some people don't.
It's interesting because it's a lot of desperation. It's this sense of it has to happen now because I see it happening so much on social media.
Right.
Oh boy, you 27. You supposed to be having kids by now. I ain't supposed to be doing nothing that I don't want to be doing. So the time will come
And
is not a rush.
It's not a rush.
It's not a rush that they've given to us, but they rushing us.
And also that, I'm not gonna lie, a lot in this generation, I don't see a lot of that. Everybody getting married and everybody like, you know, of course you want to do the right thing. You want to get married and have children, but a lot of that stuff is not happening, you know, like, but it just takes you to be like, okay, this is how I really want it for it to happen like that. But sometimes it doesn't always happen like that. But in me personally, in this generation, I don't see that happening to a lot of people out here. I can't even tell you the last wedding I've been to. I can't. But me personally, yes, I do want to get married, but being where I live, I
think it's interesting just because like the values we have in this era is, look at my guy. Absolutely. Versatility. Dying to live. I ain't living to die. I'm living my life. Look at the guy.
Yeah. You know we at
go, brother.
House's house on the 4th floor. Come get with it to get lost.
Big blessings. I've been here all day.
Really?
I'm grateful
I'm
to
supposed to be at work.
At Amazon.
No, I don't work there no more.
Oh, where you at now?
Across the hall.
Better tell somebody. Yes.
Across the hall.
That's awesome. Meera, work here now. She ain't coming back. Let me stop.
Don't say
Let
that.
me stop. No, but that's funny. I wish I could show y'all that. It's an inviting space. That's what you're supposed to do. Sanfa. I love his music. You ever heard it too much? You ever heard Sanfa? He's like a feature on a lot of people's songs, but he has these songs of his own that are like super beautiful.
I don't even know who that is.
I put you on. Just put y'all on. He did the don't think about it too much.
Oh, I do know who that is. Okay.
Cold.
I know who that is. Okay.
Kids just be wanting to be
never knew that was his name. Yeah.
But he got some joints. He got deep songs. Like, it's one of his songs, No One Loves Me Like the Piano in My Mother's Home. But he sings it and it's real. No one loves me like the piano.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that because I only literally heard that one.
Oh. Life is amazing.
Life is life in them right now.
It is. So I'm outside.
I see. That's why I don't have children. I don't have the patience.
That's what I said. That's why I taught at a school. I taught at a school for 3 years, and I said I'm gonna put that on the back burner.
Yeah, like, I don't have the patience.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe after 30, maybe.
I say by the time I'm 27, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's real though.
That's like,
no, you got
that's
good.
3 years.
You got good time.
That's 3 years.
Yeah,
that's a little time. If not, I'm just about to be Auntie Meera out here because no.
The rich auntie.
Yep, the rich
happy
auntie. No, absolutely not.
Well, that's awesome.
Can't do it.
Laugh because it's like the way life is going. All of the things that we have known are changing right before our face. Like, if you go out of town right now, you got so many options in finding a spot that night to sleep at. You got multiple random sites. If you want to go like extreme, you could sleep in a car. Like, if you want to go, because like the way it's set, most of these cars got enough security on them for you to get away with it.
Especially if you got
won't be noticed because most people aren't even in the spaces. You got Airbnb, you got rent-a-room sites, you got possibly people you know from other cities. I mean, you know, because social media, you can tap in like, I'm out here with my people. It's like, I got homies that show love when I'm in other cities.
Yeah.
So it's like all of these different ways to make life work right now. And it's just funny to see how people are still holding on to, like, if you're not married by 25 with kids, you don't make sense. I'm like, bro, I got a phone in my pocket with a calculator, flashlight. It does my taxes with an app. I can get on Twitter and talk to Jeff Bezos if I want right now. Like, what are you telling me I got to be married by 25 for? Like, one of my homies got a touchscreen refrigerator. He got Nicki Minaj. He can play a Nicki Minaj music video on his refrigerator. Like, it was just like, what? There's no thought of that.
I mean,
when you starting out?
Yeah, at one point in my life, I was thinking, I'm like, dang, what am I doing wrong? My mother was married to my father at 23, had me at 24, 23, 24. Like, my parents were married when my mother was 23. So I'm like, okay, I'm 24 now. So what am I not doing right? Like, but then I had to think, I'm like, everybody's life don't go the same.
And how much was their rent? And where did they work at?
Back.
Right. And look at where they work at.
$500 back then.
You come home with like 2 bands, you rich.
Yeah.
It ain't hard to save money when you're rent.
Especially in a 2-parent household, you know, you bringing in all that money.
Right now, the rent is starting at 15 starting at
for a little
1,000 if you want to be in one of them spots, you know.
Right,
like
you don't want to be in one of them spots.
And it's like, even with that, it's funny because if you out the way into yourself, you can make it through a little $1,000 spot. It's just where you at and why you there. Sometimes we be forgetting, like, know your audience. Because your neighbors is your audience, too.
Right.
No, you come in the spot. You come in the spot. Move over.
Go back over there in a second, too.
All right, girl, grab it out the car. I'm jumping up like we ain't even doing the interview.
No,
I gotta get hype.
She
gotta get back to work. I gotta do my thing, go berserk.
Sorry.
I am a guy from a place, CharmCityBipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama gave me. I'm here with Meera. She gotta get back to work because you know how life be. One day made better, as many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that's unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. Thank you again.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Likewise. Enjoy it. I see you. Shout out to Coco. Yeah. We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back. Gotta move on, gotta move forward with corrections given and accept that living still brings pain. Even when you're moving with the best intentions and you blessed with visions of joy, bliss, peace. Gratitude for every day I live to speak and I live to breathe in growth and abundance.